Okay, greetings, friends. In today's commentary, Maurice Nicoll makes some very interesting assertions about the true nature of the Bible, and specifically discusses the Sermon on the Mount. It's pretty interesting stuff. To make sense of it, what Nicoll says feeds off of what I discussed a little bit yesterday. To recap that, so Nicoll says that our core being is called essence. That's the term that he uses, essence. On top of that, we layer, and that's the first stage of our development from the age 3 to 4 years old. We're pure essence. At that point, the natural development of essence ceases, and we develop personality as the second stage of a human being. Just want to stress real quick, Nicoll is very careful to explain that while the essence is the core self and the personality is this being that kind of layers on top of it, that doesn't mean that personality is bad or evil. It's actually essential, which I'm about to get into. And so all human beings will go through these first stages of development. It's just part of life. The third possible stage that a human being goes through comes when a person decides to take on conscious cultivation of yourself. But what's interesting is, according to Maurice, this stage is not just a third stage separate from the other two. What it actually is so for your first stage, you had 3 to 4 years old, your essence was growing, just naturally growing. Then throughout your teen through your adult years, you're developing your personality. But the thing is, when you get to the third stage of development, the personality or the essence, it's now time you've decided to consciously grow your essence, to grow your true self. And true self is something I like. Maurice calls it the essence and the core self. I've been using the term true self. But what's interesting is your essence has to feed off of the personality, right? So he frames it as though it's like energetic bodies, right? And the essence feeds off of the energy of your personality, and in order for the essence to grow in that third and most crucial stage in your individual development. It's very interesting because unlike so many other spiritual paths and thinkers and philosophers that I've encountered who denounce daily life and work as being like an illusion and Maya and evil or whatever, to Nicoll in the fourth way, it's not only a natural part of life, but it's essential. And having a strong personality, and they define having a strong personality basically as being a responsible, powerful, and effective person, not necessarily like a big-time rock star or world-renowned scientist or something. It doesn't matter necessarily, and this is Nicoll himself who stresses this, it doesn't necessarily matter which niche in life you fit yourself. It just matters that you do it really well to the best of your ability. And once you have done that, you have cultivated what I would just term as character, right? And character is something that I hold very highly. And I appreciate that Nicoll in the fourth way also do. And so in this way of thinking, when we reach that third stage of a development, which is generally when you've accomplished the things, you've become the person you want to be in your personality, in life. And when Nicoll says life, he's talking about like social life. You reach that point and then you say, well, this is empty, I need something more. And that's when the third stage can come, and that's when you begin consciously working on yourself and seeking whatever aids you need to accomplish that, right? And the interesting thing that Nicoll says is he says all religion, and I assume when he used the term religion, I scrutinized it to see if he specifies, but I just assume he means all of the big organized religions, like Christianity, that's the one he specifies. But I assume he also means Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, the biggies. But he stresses with the Christian worldview, because the fourth way is very much, it's like esoteric Christianity. It's not like it is esoteric Christianity. It has been identified as such. Nicoll expresses that the New Testament should actually be best understood as serving that third stage of your development, not the second stage. Now, the reason why that's important, the specific example that he uses, I was reading the Sermon on the Mount this morning, reading it through his lens, and it's very interesting. But one of the things he specifies is, in the Bible, there are various, or in the New Testament, there in the Gospels, there are various mentions of the rich man and the poor man, right? Well, Nicoll says that when the Bible refers to that, it's not referring to a rich man as in a lot of gold or a poor man as in no gold. It means the rich man is the personality and the poor man is the essence, right? Taking us back to what I was just saying. In the beginning, the first 3 to 4 years, our essence develops naturally, but then it just stops, right? Unless we implement conscious shocks to it to stimulate growth and to consciously work on ourselves, our essence just freezes at that point. And then from that point, we're building personality. And like I said, in Nicoll's thinking, a strong personality is good. A successful person. Success being measured by your character and your reliability, your responsibility, your effectiveness, and what you do, whatever that is, whether it's making gelato or building nuclear power plants, right? And so through that lens, when the Bible, specifically the Gospels, talk about the rich man and the poor man, it's talking about the personality and the essence. Because the personality has to give to the essence for the essence to grow. And it is giving. It's not like your personality will be drained. Now, that might be putting kind of a negative frame on it, but because it's definitely not a negative thing, right? I mean, the whole point is you can be in that second stage of development. You can be a very successful and effective person, but you're not really alive yet. And he mentions that as well when the Gospels talk about dead men, saying it's spiritually dead people. It's people who have not progressed to the third stage of development, which he in the fourth way discuss as building and cultivating your essence. And remember, I refer to Maurice Nicoll because he authored this book, but they are commentaries on Gurdjieff and Ouspensky. So by proxy, when I mention this, I mean when I say Nicoll this, Nicoll that, it's Gurdjieff and Ouspensky as well. And so in their view, or when they talk about growing the essence, taking from personality, it's how I would think of as growing your spirituality. But those are just different terms for, I think, the same underlying thing. But it's really interesting. And so I was reading the Sermon on the Mount this morning, thinking about it, and it definitely puts a different spin on it, and it's very interesting. And I'm going to read all of the Gospels this weekend. I should have time. I'm going to read all of the Gospels through that lens and see exactly how they feel to me. But anyway, I just thought that was really interesting stuff, a really intriguing way of looking at the Bible, Christianity, and organized religions in general. So that's about it. Thank you very much, my friends. Peace out.